Hey, what's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about the presidential debate that just happened between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and who I thought won the debate, and my reaction to the different policies that each of the candidates brought up. Now, to just say this bluntly, I think Hillary Clinton demolished Donald Trump throughout this debate. I think that this debate goes to show the differences in maturity levels and composure and temperament of each one of these candidates. And also, Hillary Clinton is competent in terms of she understands the process of going about things. And yes, I disagree with Hillary Clinton on a lot of issues, but you can't say that she's not competent enough to become president. When Donald Trump, it's like everything that he said throughout that debate was a soundbite. You know, it's like when he says, "Oh, the problem with ISIS is that we haven't kicked their ass." It's like fucking Chuck Norris mentality where we just need to get all our guns and go over there and we're gonna kick their ass and come back in time for supper. He makes it seem so simple to defeat ISIS when in fact, it's like a lot of them are in heavily populated areas where there's cities, and it's like you have to win over the hearts and minds of the local population to root out these ISIS members. But when Donald Trump makes statements such as, we want to torture women and children, and we want to ban all Muslims from entering the country, and we're going to have some sort of World War II version of how they treated the Jews with the where they had to wear the Star of David. You want to have some sort of identification system for Muslims in the United States. You're not trying to win over and lend a hand of cooperation with different groups of people throughout the world when you're making statements like that. And also, it just sounds so fucking stupid. When he said that Hillary Clinton has been fighting ISIS her entire adult life, it's just right then and there, it showed me that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. ISIS has not been around for 50 years. Hillary Clinton's like in her late 60s, early 70s, and ISIS has probably been around in its current iteration maybe for like the last 5 to 7 years. It's just like he just lies. He just makes up stuff. And then also, when he talking about racism and how he constantly was coming after Obama because he was he said that he was born in Kenya, and then he tried to connect the violence in Chicago to Obama, saying that's Obama's hometown. But then before this presidential race, you're saying Obama was born in Kenya. So is Obama from Chicago, Kenya? Is Chicago in the country of Kenya? Because it's just he'll make a statement that's not true and just run with it. Like when he said that he wasn't in support of the Iraq war when it was first starting or whatever, that's not true. You can go look on fact check and look at what he said verbatim, and he definitely was not against the war in Iraq. But he lies. He just runs with the lie. It's just he's not the facts don't go well with Donald Trump. And then also with the Iran deal, he's making it seem like we're giving them 400 million or 1 billion, however much money it is, out of our pockets into the hands of the Iranians or Iran, whichever one it is. And that's not true. When we had those sanctions on, when we started to have those sanctions on Iran, we froze their bank accounts in the country that we're having the sanctions, and because they are complying with these sanctions, we are giving them back their money. It's not money that's coming from me or you, the taxpayer. It's money that was frozen in their account or in our banks. But and then also throughout this debate, it's just you can see how immature he is, because he's constantly interrupting Hillary. You know, and once again, I was a big Bernie supporter. I see a lot of flaws with Hillary, and look at my past videos, and you know, it's quite evident that I'm not a huge rah-rah Hillary supporter. But at least I know that she has composure, and she's competent enough to lead our country into the future. Donald Trump is a person that literally said because Iranian sailors on a boat were taunting our sailors that we should have shot at them. Because someone sticks their tongue out at you or flicks you off, it's like your conclusion is, yeah, let's shoot them and start World War 10. It's just stupidity, just dumbness. And for the people that support Donald Trump, I mean, how do you watch that debate and say, I want him to be in the Oval Office? You know? And yes, there were some times where Hillary Clinton, she took an L, like when they were talking about the DNC email hacks. But then again, she apologized. She said that it was wrong for her to do so. While when it comes to Donald Trump, he doesn't pay his workers when they do jobs for him. Like, you know, when he has all these construction projects going on, he will stiff the people that are building his facilities and say, "Oh, I didn't like the way they did it. You know, it wasn't up to my standard." But the thing is when you're building a building, if you're the person who is financing it and you're going to own it, you like everything with that building is specified towards what you want. And if you didn't like what the end product was, then that's your fault. I mean, he stiffed thousands of people. He ran a fraudulent university. You know those people that come on between like 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning who are like, you know, hey, turn $800 into a $300,000 house and you can be rich. That's what Donald Trump is, man. Except he does it with universities. He's literally stiffed, there's this one case where this one woman who was on disability checks saw the Trump University thing, and she literally told them that, hey, look, I only get disability checks, and you know, that's all the money I have. And they're like, okay, well, send us all those checks and you know, that'll be fine. I mean, if this guy's so freaking rich, why are you trying to get over on someone who is on disability and it's like they don't have the means to pay for your fraudulent university? That's not what a billionaire does. You know, I don't see Elon Musk trying to run scam on poor people. But if I do have to say, you know, and this is the conclusion for this video, the thing that I've noticed, and I liked it the most throughout this debate, was how Hillary Clinton has a detailed game plan for what she wants to do. Throughout the debate, I saw Donald Trump basically just making up shit as he goes along. You know, he didn't prepare himself. He looks stupid. You know, he doesn't have a grasp or understanding of, you know, very serious political issues. I mean, he's just stupid, man. He's not the bright light bulb in the pack. He's very dim-witted. And, you know, once again, I'm not the biggest rah-rah Hillary supporter because I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, but, you know, even Bernie Sanders knows that, yeah, Hillary Clinton has her issues and her flaws, but we have to be sober about this and look at the implications of Donald Trump being elected, and that is the repeal of the Affordable Care Act, which, you know, that if we would ever want to have a single-payer healthcare system, that would be another huge fight that, you know, we would have to overcome because we had to, you know, do transitioning, and I think that we would be at a better position to transition over to a single-payer system with a you know, something in place of it, that such as the Affordable Care Act, then instead of just like, you know, starting off from scratch with nothing whatsoever. And then also with the Supreme Court justices, that's another issue that Donald Trump, if elected, would have a severe negative consequence for the next 20, 30 years. You know, there's like 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices who might be, retiring, and I don't want to have 2 or 3 Scalias for the next 20, 30 years that can undo a lot of socially progressive legislation that has passed, in the past couple of decades. Oh, and also on the issue of guns, that's also I somewhat disagree with Hillary Clinton on her talks about people shouldn't own military grade weapons. But the thing is, like, what defines a military grade weapon? You know, a lot of the assault rifles that people own are basically civilian versions of their military counterparts, but the variances are, some of them might be small, some of them might be large. And I think that, and this is my personal take on it, if you want to cut down on the gun violence in a lot of areas or reduce the flow of illegal guns, is that you have to have a gun registry where every time that you buy a gun or sell a gun to another person, the serial number in that gun is tied to your name until you transfer it to another person, like how you do a car. So if a gun ends up in the hands of a criminal, then we can trace that gun back to the last legal owner. Because a lot of the NRA people don't want to admit that, all these guns that are, manufactured by legal gun companies like Glock. I mean, like, it's like people make it seem like these guns are falling off through the clouds, but no, they were manufactured somewhere. They were sold, and eventually they ended up in the hands of criminals. And the way that you can track these guns and make sure they don't end up in the hands of criminals is that you have a registry where, if you try to sell a gun to a criminal and that criminal commits that crime, then you are also liable for that criminal's actions. And then also, if you do have your legally owned gun stolen, then you can report that to the police. And this is also another benefit, is that if a criminal is caught with your stolen gun, then you can have it returned to you much more easily than if we didn't have a national database. So, but with that being said, that's all I really have to say about the 2016 presidential debate. I think Donald Trump did a terrible job, and I hope he doesn't become president. So that's all I have to say. Peace out, y'all, and have a nice evening.